This is Dave Fleming at the Ingenuity Lab. Welcome to another episode of Lifework, a podcast that explores ideas and insights at the intersection of who you are and what you do, your life work. Well, what did you recently put in your Google search window? Think of the last 3 things you've searched for. Don't know what those were for you? But it tells you something about yourself. It tells me something about myself when we stop to think about what we put in that search window. Doesn't it? I mean, what we seek and what we search out on Google is telling us something about what matters to us. That is also true in life. What we search out in life tells us a lot about what matters to us in life at any given moment over a long period of time. And so I want to think with you today a little bit about what you search for and what that might be telling you about yourself. So there are really 3 reasons we search for things. 1, we're curious. And that's about an interest that has, for some reason, caught our eye, which is really kind of a cool mystery in and of itself. Like, why are we drawn to the things we're drawn to? And, psychologists and others have come up with reasons, our childhood and things that struck us early in our lives, and they stayed with us, were big defining moments in our life, and they drive these interests that we go after. And when we're interested in something, for whatever the reason, we go after them and we start to search out more about them. We get curious about our interests. We also search out of necessity. And there's nothing easier to give an example of is a crisis. You go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis you're not happy with. What do? Well, in the 21st century, what you do is probably spend way too much time reading about that thing online. Or you really do go look for, what do I need to understand and appreciate about this diagnosis? What is it? What does it mean to me? What am I going to have to do about it? So we weren't really interested in that thing. We weren't curious about that thing until it was a necessity. So that's the second kind of seeking. Sometimes we seek because for whatever the reason, our interest has been piqued. But other times, it's not so much that our interest is piqued, but our necessity around something that has happened to us drives us to search. And then there's a third kind of searching, and that is a searching for something to help us escape a moment. We've talked in another podcast about escapism and the dangers of escaping and the loop of escape that we can fall into. But if we think about it, there are things that we seek out in life because we're trying to get away from something else. Pleasures, maybe different relationships, different experiences. They may or may not be inherently bad for us, but they can become unhealthy for us because we're using them to escape. Now, the thing that is interesting about these 3 is that sometimes we confuse which one we're feeling when we're seeking. So I can really be seeking out of escapism, but convince myself that I'm doing it just, like out of interest. I just want to know more about beer. And, one way to know more about beer is to drink too much of it. Now, have I moved from this is an interest to this is an escape mechanism that I'm confusing as an interest. And so now I'm actually giving myself justification to do something that could really continue to hurt me. And I think getting clear or at least asking the question, why am I searching the thing I'm searching out? Why am I spending time pursuing this thing, seeking this object, this pathway on YouTube, or this set of searches online, or this line of questioning in my life? Why am I doing that? And this can be really complicated. I'm not suggesting that you're going to get a simple answer. This is always interest-based, this is always necessity-based, and this is always escape-based. But what if you took time to really just ask that question when you were seeking, when you found yourself either initially searching for something or you find yourself going back again and again to search out something in life? What if you could ask these questions? Am I interested in this? Is there a real interest in this? And is this interest leading me to a more healthy and meaningful life? Is this a necessity? Like, is there a crisis or a really compelling event that has occurred that is pushing me toward the need to search this thing out, whatever it is? And is that what's driving my searching? Is this something I'm searching because I'm trying to get out of something else? Am I spending too much time on this thing? And, I could name them. I don't really need to. Do I? Binge watching, binge drinking, surfing the internet, pornography on the internet. I mean, where do we want to go? There's so many places we could go to talk about escape, searching for the reason of escape. What if we could just ask ourselves those three questions when we find ourselves either searching initially or searching repeatedly? Am I truly interested in this? And is this interest going to lead me to a more healthy life? And you of course, really be careful, because you can justify things to yourself. So if you're not trusting yourself in the moment, maybe you should run this by someone else that you trust and can be honest with. Is this really an interest? Do I really need to pursue this? And is it piquing my interest because it's going to help me live a better life? Number two, is this a necessity? Do I need to spend time on this because now I need a job, or I need to change my lifestyle, or I need to shift things in a relationship, and I wasn't interested, maybe I should have been, but now out of necessity, I'm going to seek? Or is this, number three, a moment where I'm seeking because I want to escape a harsher reality of life? Asking those three questions just might help you not only decide if you should keep searching, but may also help you better refine your seeking and your searching as a result of the honest conversation you have with yourself, or maybe a trusted friend, about what you're seeking, what you're searching out in life, and why are you doing it. Think about the last 3 times you've been searching for something in your life, or pay attention to the next 3 times you search and ask yourself, interest-based to help me live a more meaningful life? Necessity, because I'm being pushed somewhere that I wasn't even expecting? Or am I trying to escape something and I need to pay attention to it? What could those 3 questions do to reshape how you search in your life? This is Dave Fleming at the Ingenuity Lab. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Lifework. Go search with meaning and let that search lead you to a more robust life and better work. Until next time, have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.